Okay. Okay. Okay, YouTube, welcome. Okay, YouTube, uh, welcome back. Um, so I decided to do a video on some of my dress watches. I have most of them out in front of me. It's not all of them, but it's a good amount. I might have a dozen or two. I'm not going to bring out, but this is kind of the bulk of them, or half of them, I should say. Let's get started. I'm outside in my backyard, and I think I will start with this watch here. And this is a Bulova. I'm not gonna. It's an Accutron. I'm not gonna know the model numbers of all these, because I didn't bother to look them up, and it's been so long since I've bought a lot of these. Most of them at least two years or so, if not more. But some going back much further than that. But here's one. This is actually a quartz, which is really rare. I probably own 2 or 3 quartz watches, to be honest. And this is one of them. I saw this on YouTube some time ago, and I thought it was pretty cool, so I decided to get it. It's got a crown here that turns this dial, so you can set it as a timer. But it turns in both ways, and it turns pretty easy. And if I remember, you can't lock it. So it's, as far as it really being useful, I don't think any of these things where you can turn the dial or the bezel, where it can easily be knocked around or moved, is going to be a reliable way to time things, particularly in a dive watch if you're going diving. But nonetheless, there it is. But it's a chronograph. Well, it's got 3 complications, 4 if you count the day right there. It's pretty interesting. Bulova is a iconic American brand. I remember them back when I was a young man buying one. They were just like, back then there were a lot more jewelry stores and watch stores that you could walk into. And this was always, Bulova was always one of those that would be featured in those stores. It was sold everywhere, and it was considered a really good watch. It was advertised on television a lot back in the day. And I noticed that some reviewers, they call it Bulova. I think they said, but I mean, if you can go on YouTube and you can Google a commercial going back to the 60s and 70s, and you'll hear the pronunciation. It's Bulova. And believe me, I'm not the pronunciation police, because I get things wrong all the time. But I bought these in my early 20s. I bought my first watch, I think, from my girlfriend. Might have been my wife, can't remember, but a girl. And so it goes back a long way, and we never called it Bulova, which makes me kind of smile when I hear that. But so Bulova, for those that want to know, if you care. So I'm just noticing there's yellow here, and I think that might be, I don't know what that's from. That could be just what came wrapped in the watch, like a protective film. This watch has a beautiful dial, no display that case or anything like that. It's just solid, but it's just a beautiful watch. And you can set it, time things with it, but mostly I just like to stare at the dial. That's, black and yellow goes well together. It's got the yellow second hand. It's got the Bulova tuning fork at the end of the second hand, and also at the top where 12 is. Just a, it has almost like a turtle case, which, and I love turtle cases. If you saw my first video on divers, I have a couple of 2 or 3 turtle watches in there, and I speak very highly of them. It's brushed on the front. and then it's polished on the sides and the underside. It's got a signed crown with the Bulova, again, their trademark insignia. And I put on a blue strap. I think it came with a bracelet. Like most of my watches come with bracelets, and I take a lot of those bracelets off, put them back in the box that I originally purchased. Excuse me, that I originally purchased it in. I put it back in the box, and then I store that so it doesn't get messed up in case I ever want to sell the watch. The papers and the bracelet, original bracelet, the links, and everything goes with it. So, and there you have it. There's one. Now, so there's the first one. A little bit long-winded, but Bulova does have a history. And here's another American brand. It used to be an American brand. So I'll go ahead and get these out of the way. A Hamilton. This is one of the first watches I bought about 7 or 8 years ago when I started to get into watch collecting. Prior to that, I owned a few watches, but I was never into collecting. And I was never into so much as, knowing about watches or any of the history or how they were designed and made, how they worked, none of that. And then I got this watch. And I credit YouTube with getting me interested in collecting watches because of the videos that I watched. But I purchased this, and I think I got it on Amazon of all places. It has a butterfly clasp, just beautiful clasp, signed clasp with the Hamilton there. It's got the, I'm not sure if this is, I think it's rose gold as opposed to yellow gold. I think it's rose gold, which is my favorite. The bracelet is just beautiful, and it doesn't catch on your hairs. It's so supple and flexible without being rattly. It's I mean, other manufacturers can learn from Hamilton on how to make a proper bracelet. But just look at the dial. I mean, the quintessential dress watch. Now, is it large? Yeah. I'm guessing it's 44. It might be 45. But I got a wrist that's measures maybe 8 1/4. So, for me, it just fits. That's why most of my watches are going to be larger. It's got the day complication on top, and it's put in very well, only losing 1/2 of an indice on the 12. It does have a little loom on the minute and hour hands, which really wasn't necessary to do. I don't know why they do it, because it doesn't have any effect on it whatsoever. But just the applied indices that kind of go with the flow of the pointed hands, just the elegance of the watch. Simple Hamilton automatic, and then at the bottom Swiss made, not a bunch of other junk on there. It's not a billboard, it's just a watch style. I really like the fact that the crown is large enough and so smooth to wind. I mean, when you wind it, you just know it's got a good movement in it. Hamiltons have been an American company, been around for years. It's a name it denotes quality. I think they're made in Switzerland now. Swiss made. They were bought up, but they were originally an American brand, if I'm not mistaken. Water resistant 5 bars. It does put the model number on the back. I wish more manufacturers put the model numbers on the back, and also the name of the movement. I don't see that on here. It could be on. I don't see it. That would be kind of cool if they did that as well. But it's got the little brushing here, polished there. You see the little bit of brushing here on the lugs, lug to lug. Yeah, the lug to lug measurement, where the lug width is probably about 22, but the lugs themselves, they're brushed, and then they're polished right on the edge here, and then they're brushed down here, and this is polished. I mean, they just go that extra step, and then the beautiful bezel. this is this like I said, this was the first watch that I bought when I got into collecting. I bought this back in 2015 or 16. Might have been early 16. But turns out it's one of my best watches. I mean, really, in my opinion, it's beautiful. Now, getting back, staying with that theme, here's one virtually identical, and of course, this one you're going to recognize this one as there it is, the Seiko. Now this you could still buy, so I guess they make this like every year. They still have them, and I bought this some years ago. I can't remember the model name of it, but it's look how it look at the resemblance. Slightly smaller, but virtually the same watch. and I bought it. I mean, it's really close. Now, I'd have to say Seiko copied it because this I think this was first. But this is a gorgeous watch. Now here Seiko did it right. They didn't bother with putting the ridiculous small amount of lume on the hands at all. And the dial it's white, but it's got the circular lines in it. Almost like a platter that, like I want to say like a CD platter, but that's not true. You could see the circular lines in it. I mean, under magnification, I'm sure you could really pick it out. And then it's got like individual not ribbing, but indentations in between where all the indices go, following the indices. I don't know if you could pick that up. It's very subtle. That's what the light bounces off of. Just beautiful watch. Again, smooth winding. Probably got the 4R36 or 4R35 in it. And again, a Seiko bracelet, a cheaper bracelet, but it's, for me, it's adequate. Is it as nice as the Hamilton? Well, of course not. I mean, whereas this I think is 20. This I believe is 22, so a little bit larger. But this is a larger watch. The Hamilton is a larger watch. As far as diameter, the thickness looks to be about the same. This is a simpler case, not as quite as intricate as the Hamilton, but beautiful nonetheless. Simple pressed clasp, some open back like the Hamilton. Like I said, it's kind of like really copying it. Can you see that? I'm not sure, but. And does it give you any information? 435. Yeah, this is it's got some numbers back there. I'm not sure if that's the model number. I don't think so. Again, and if you want to wear a watch like that, but you want to wear something slightly smaller in diameter, I don't know how I got suckered into buying one when I already had one so closely resembling it, but I did. I think I got a good price on it. So there's those. Let's kind of stay with that theme and go back to a Hamilton. Yeah. I'm just going, any way I want. It doesn't really matter. This is a Hamilton. I thought there was something on the dial. It turned out it was just a reflection of that 9. Now this one's got, again, it's got some lume on the hour and minute hands, and some lume on the no lume on the indices. It's just a reflection. It's a beautiful, beautiful watch. I really like the color of the dial. I like the fact that it's got two different hues of brown, actually three. It's got an outer ring that's lighter brown, then a dark ring, and then a lighter again. If you can pick that up. It's relatively thin. Beautiful case. The rose gold, just subtly done. Sign crown. Now this crown is semi-protected, and yeah, you could still easily get to it. Still good size, but it does have this little protector here. This I think came on. This came with a bracelet, and I believe I put this bracelet on my next watch, which you'll see. But again, another fine example of an attractive dress watch done up in brown. And these came with probably 5 different color choices. And I put the strap that it came on, and I think that's the one it came on, I put it on this watch. And if you see the H, the rose gold is done in H, and this is the Hamilton bracelet. Again, butterfly clasp. This time it's not. There's no signage on it. No place to put the signage. Another beautiful bracelet. Another supple, beautiful bracelet. Really does it. And look at the dial on the Seiko Presage. This is the second generation of the Cocktail Time line of watches that started originally with the iridescent bluish white dial with the 6R15 movement. Then they came out with a bunch of other ones. It was so popular. And this has got the 4R36. Ironically, I think the price actually went up on some of these, and the movement went a little down. But I think the main difference between the 6R35 or 36 and the 4R35 is the power reserve is. I think the barrel lasts about 50 hours versus 40. The barrel spring. The wind, when you wind it. So I don't know if there's much other difference in the movements. I mean, it's when you look at them, I can't really tell anything. But then I'm not a watchmaker. I tried being a watchmaker, and it cost me a lot of money to get the watch fixed. So I stay away from opening up the backs anymore. Again, brown, the sunburst dial, and smooth winding. Gorgeous watch. Probably my favorite cocktail that I own. And then I got the original one here. Now this is the one that the dial looks blue sometimes. I don't know how it's going to look in this video, but it's in certain light it looks has a very faint bluish tint. And then other times, like right now, it doesn't. It looks more of like a white. So, the fact that at times it looks a little blue, it just adds to the whole appeal of the watch. It's just, one of those dials you want to stare at. And it has a blue seconds hand. And it's so delicate, the seconds hand. You can barely see it. A gorgeous watch done in stainless steel. Nothing fancy on the back. I think you could still get these watches, or at least you can get the modern iteration of them. I don't know. The original one like this one, I'm sure, they made so many you could buy one pre-owned. I put it on this strap. They came with funky straps. Beautiful watch though. And that is what they named the Cocktail Time, which is a cool. You can imagine yourself in a 5-star hotel or something fancy, and having a cocktail and wearing that watch. I mean, it's like it's made for it. It's made for that kind of activity. And then here's another early watch that I got. This might have been the second watch that I purchased when I got into collecting. And this is an Oris Sun and Moon. It's like a chrono, but if you notice, the pushers don't stick out. You have to use an accessory tool or something to push them in. And that's really just to set everything. So it's not really a chrono in the sense. It just has three complications. Well, four actually. And it's got a beautiful dial with the circular lines. Um, it's an Oris. It's a great quality watch. I don't know. Oris was and probably still is a Swiss-made brand. It's got the red, typical for Oris. It's got the red um, winder in the back rotor. Just a sapphire front and rear, or sapphire front it says. Rear could be like a mineral crystal. Beautiful watch. Not too thick. Again, a nice dress watch. It's complicated, but it's not overly complicated. It just doesn't look too busy still. The hands, I think, are black. Are they blue? They might be blue. I honestly I can't tell if they're black or blue. I think they're blue. I don't know if you could see it. I don't know. I can't tell right now. I thought they were blue, but okay. So which one? We'll get to. We did that one. Now this one here. This is a sports watch, or it's a racing watch. The Frederic Constant Geneva Healy series of watches tied to racing, Le Mans racing or something like that, I believe. This came with the race car. This is a limited edition. They released them like every year for a while. I don't know if they're still doing it. And it came with, let me wind it real quick. It came with a beautiful, beautiful wooden display box, and it was lined, and it had this cool model that was assembled of the race car that they sponsored in the box, and I bought it, and it was sent to me, and it was just arrived in beautiful condition. I kept the box and everything, and then I went to go sell it a couple of years later, 2 or 3 years later, and I put it, back in this wooden box, tied everything was secure, put it back in the box that it was originally shipped to me, and sent it via U.S. mail, and I didn't get the insurance on it, and they I don't know what they did. They crunched the box, they threw it around, and when it arrived at the customer's address, the car was destroyed. The delicate windshield and all the delicate parts, it broke free from its mount, so they just tossed it around. I was so pissed off, and it wasn't insured. They didn't buy any insurance on it, but it was packed so securely. They just butchered it. So he sent it back to me in the same box. When it came to me, it was in tatters. I mean, it was terrible. And what's weird is I sold it on eBay. The guy complained immediately to eBay, saying that I purposely sold him a broken watch that was defective with a broken model. And I contacted the guy, and I said, I did not do that. It got damaged in shipping. Look at the box. I think he overreacted. I mean, who, like I would actually do that. Anyway, I gave him his money back. I took the watch back. Here's the watch. I still have the model. I could painstakingly glue a lot of the broken pieces back, and the model would be kind of functioning again, and looking kind of cool, because the box is really awesome. The wooden box, a lacquered box, it's just gorgeous. But it will never be like a new thing. And this was a limited edition. I think there was 20. This was 283 out of Out of 1,888, this was 283. So, Le Mans Challenge, yeah, Healy Le Mans, Frederic Constant. And it was the cool year because the model I have is, I've seen other ones and the cars don't look as cool. Mine would, nor do the watches. Look at this watch. It's got the Frederic Constant greenish and kind of cream colored dial that they're known for, or they were known for. The green they are known for. I've seen them on their other watches. Chronograph. I mean, at least the watch survived. You know, came with a couple different straps. I got another aftermarket strap on it now, but a beautiful watch. And I'm going to put this over here because I keep moving it. A beautiful watch. I'm glad I have it. The case is completely polished, signed crown. Just a well-made watch. Got some heft to it. It didn't come with a bracelet, like I said. It came with leather, 2 different types of leather straps. And then let's see what else I have. I have this Orient. There's nothing fancy about this watch, but I'll let you see it here. Losing light, but sorry, I keep hitting my setup is kind of shaky because I'm just outside here. Well, I got this because of the rose gold and black. That just goes together. I have it on a cool strap. I love these types of straps. Distressed leather with the stitching. And this is, you can wind this one, as well as it's also an automatic. It's just a beautiful dial. It's a great watch. And the other thing I like about this watch is because it's got the numbering, it's easy to read. You glance down at it, boom, unless you're in the pitch dark, immediately without studying it, what time it is. Close back, relatively thin, classic Orient case, great watch. Now, if you need a rose gold watch to dress up, this is the watch. And none of these are scratched, if you notice, because I really don't wear them, and if I do wear them, I'm very careful with them. Here's another watch. This is Jean Richard, Daniel Jean Richard. It's a Swiss brand without the notoriety of some of the other Swiss brands. Let me shake it real fast, get it going. Let's see if we can get it going. Get it ticking. And it just needed a little bit of persuasion. If it doesn't work, just bang it on something. It just hasn't been wound in so long. And these rotors don't do a great job of winding it, because I think they only wind in one direction. But so it needs to be turned. It's a little stiff, like I said. My Omega was doing this, and I took it apart to fix it. And it's actually getting easier now that should be. It's just So I took my Omega apart, and I didn't have the proper tools, and I messed it up. I had to buy new parts for it, and then I just had to send it off. I think it cost me $1,100 or $1,200 to get it rebuilt. But I mean, they polished it. It came back. It looked like it was brand new again. Okay, so this one's working now, but it'll need to be serviced to something. This is because it's an older watch. This is a cool watch. It's a good watch. Does it need to be rebuilt? Probably. It at least needs a service. And then it would, give you years and years and years of trouble-free durability again. it's got a lot going on in the dial, and I don't think there's very many people out there that use any of the stuff that is on there to and it's all about, I believe, tied to some racing and timing of racing and things like that, how many miles you went, or so, something to that effect. But maybe the people used it in the 60s and 70s, but I wouldn't think that they use it today. Okay, so I'm going to zero it out, and I'm going to let it tick just so it's working. Okay, so I have these two. I can combine them and showing you. These are the last two in this case to show you. Yep, these are the last two. And these are Seikos, and these are both automatics, so they do not manual wind, but they're just beautiful watches. They almost have the 50 fathoms look. Is it 50 fathoms? 50 or 55? Whatever watch that is. It's not some iconic watch, but these look fantastic. So that you got the rotating bezel, and when the bezel is nice. This one's nice. Oh no, this one is. That one turns just. Oh, this is even better. Wow. Wow, this one's how I like it even better. The black with the gold, and and this is probably a glass bezel. It's probably, I don't think it's aluminum, and I definitely don't think it's ceramic. Not in this price range. They're identical in every way, except for the color. That's the only difference, right? So I don't know which one I like more. I think I like this one more. I guess it depends on what you're wearing. But yeah, they're identical. These are gorgeous watches. And they came with bracelets, cheaper bracelets. And I put them on now. I put them on the leather because they just look the best on that, I think, So I'm going to open this box up here and take this out. And here's the box. Here's the box. And there's the box. Raymond. Wow. Now, I think this was an American brand, or and I believe here's the reference. Parsifal. And so I believe it, and this, I think this is the third watch that I bought when I started collecting. And probably, I think I on Amazon. I think I bought it on Amazon. This dial. They had this brown like this, and I think they had a lighter brown, if I remember right. But this is the one I got, the darker one. And when you're out, and this is a dress watch. If you're out about, like at a restaurant or whatever, or some club or bar, and it's dark, you don't see much. I mean, there's some lume on the hands, but you don't really see much. It's got the Cyclops. And look at it. Look at this. It's not screwed. I don't have the crown screwed down. This is why I don't like. This is one of the reasons I don't like screwed down crowns. It's so easy to forget to screw them down, at least because it's not screwed down. Absent-minded. So because water can get in. And if it's not a screw down, it's always sealed. Oh. Why would it have a screw down crown? What's the depth rating on this? It's gotta be 100 meters. Yeah, 100. A lot of watches are 100 and they don't even have a screw down. And a dress watch, I don't know. Screw down crown seems unnecessary. It does have a crown guard. The watch itself is gorgeous. Roman numerals. Um, like I said, I think they had a lighter brown, and then it's got the waffle pattern in the middle there. Just a beautiful watch, and they don't make this exact watch anymore. They made it for a while. It's got a signed clasp, so this is the original band that came with it. So if you were to buy this today, I think I looked it up like a year ago. Um, they're expensive now. I think they're over $1,000. If you wanted to buy one. I mean, you could get a newer version, a different one, but if you want this one, if you wanted this one, it's going to cost you more. It's gone up in value, but are they really selling? I don't know. But that's what I've seen them go. I've seen them being the price being asked that much. They're made in Switzerland now. They're known for good movements. I don't know anything else about that, but it does. When you're holding it in your hand, you can tell it's a quality watch. So here's a Jacques Le Mans. It's a wooden case for the Jacques Le Mans. And here you see it. I'll show it to you here. Jacques Le Mans. Which is just, this is the way it came, I believe. Well, I don't think it came with the ostrich. I think I put that on. It came with this, and I think it came with another one too. I think it came with an extra strap, and I can't remember now, but I think it did have one on there, and then it came with an extra one. I know that's one of the original straps because it has a signed clasp. This, you can get a really nice dress watch without without having to spend, $7,000 or $8,000, or even $5,000 or $6,000. Look at this watch. Look at this. Look at the back of this watch. Limited edition. It's 32 out of 200 produced. 200 of these watches were made. Chronograph, limited. Look at the detail they put into that movement. Wow. Oh, this is the other. It says Jacques Le Mans, if you can see that. So I'm wrong. I didn't buy this. I did buy some ostrich ones, but apparently this came with it. Because sure enough, it's written on there. Unless I took it from another Jacques Le Mans. I think I have a couple of them. This is, I believe, the Valjoux 7750. Let's see, is it? Yes, it is. So this is the Valjoux 7750, just like the Daniel Richard that I showed you earlier. I mean, you could read up on them. This one here doesn't take much to get it going. Whereas the other chrono, I thought it was broken. These pushers push in a little bit easier. Yeah, there's a lot of life left in this movement. It need to be rebuilt. It's got the green loom. The dial, it's just a kind of it's a silvery dial. It's a silver dial. It's not white, it's silver. I would say it's about a 40 millimeter. It's about a 41 millimeter. Between 41 and 42. Yeah, I'm guessing. Perfect size. Not too thick, a little thick, but a little bit. Slightly raised crown, just above. I'm sure it's sapphire, a limited edition. These are going to be they're not messing around with mineral crystals on these things. Not a scratch on it, I can see. Not a scratch. Jacques Le Mans signature. I must have showed you another I thought I showed you another jock. Did I? I'm not. No, maybe not. That must have been a different video. Um, like I said, I have a few Jacques Lemons, and I like them all. There's just the value for money with these things. There are a number of Swiss brands that they just don't command, their name alone doesn't command an inflated price. And so what you actually end up getting is more of a true value of what the watch is actually worth. Because the brands that you pay for, that with all the pompous, that are, with all the hype and pomp and everything, is pomp a word, you know what I'm talking about. The ones that are built up and hyped up and they spend a lot on advertising, you're paying for a lot of the advertising and the name itself, and just the prestige of owning it, and because the fact that they have these clones out there now, there's replica watches that are produced in China and other places, and they can take them apart, and they're practically identical, and they're sold for anywhere from $500 to $1,500, and where the real watch is 10 or 12 or more. I mean, what does that tell you? But this is more of a this is more of a $1,200 watch, and I probably paid less for it. It's just a gorgeous watch. I mean, there's no denying it. So that one is, I'm going to have to put tape on there. Look, see, it's ripping. So just to prevent it from getting worse. So I have another Frederic Constant, and Frederic Constant's. I mean, how much are you paying for the packaging? Look at this packaging. Let me raise it up a little bit. What's it say? Live your passion. Okay, so this is a GMT. This is another good watch. Frederic Constant is really making some ground nowadays. I mean, it's really starting to get itself put on the map. They have a lot of different designs, and their popularity is taking off, and their prices are, going up. This is another one. This is a Healy. Remember I was telling you about this Frederic Constant earlier being a limited edition, and you see the Healy and the racing emblem there. Well, it's on here as well. And the green. See the green? The Frederic Constant green. I think that's green. Yeah. So, this watch is like brand new. This watch might be, well, it can't be brand new because I own it. But again, look at the case back. Beautiful. Wow. Gorgeous watch. And original band. Get the little insignia on there. Fantastic. I mean, and the case. I mean, first of all, the box it comes in, and then it goes in a cardboard packaging. Pretty fancy. This would make a great gift to yourself. No, I mean, if you gifted this to someone, being a GMT is cool. It's a very useful complication, especially if you travel. So, I mean, Frederic Constant. What do we got? Here's the one I tried to rebuild. Totally muffed it. The case is a little beat up. I got this. I think I bought it on eBay. I mean, don't a lot of people buy stuff on eBay. I mean, come on. eBay is not what it used to be, though. It's more or less. It's just. I'm finding out that it's just kind of turning into a. I don't know what the hell it's turning into. But here's this. This is the. Here's the international warranty card. Oh, thank God I got this from 2011. I got this international warranty card. And if you notice, this, I don't know if I want to. This is a professional diver, the Seamaster. So this is not. It's not the Seamaster. I don't think this is the right. I don't think this is the paperwork that's supposed to come with this watch. Because I don't think let me see, I have a picture of the watch in here. I don't think I've ever taken this paperwork out. Yeah. I don't have the Seamaster. They just threw it in this and sold it to me. So that's why this thing looks so funky and old and weird. Because this is not the Seamaster. This is the Speedmaster, the 39mm Speedmaster, the smaller one, with the silver dial, and the 3 complications at 12, 9, and 6, instead of 9, 6, or 3, 6, and 9. And I had this watch rebuilt because I tried to fix it and I just totally messed it up. The jeweler sent it out to another guy, watchmaker in Nevada, and he had it for like a month and a half, whatever. And he rebuilt it, and boy, when it came back, I mean, I didn't expect all the. I got to get a different leather for it. Look, I had to cut that because it doesn't fit. So anyway, I got off topic. Oh yeah, so he polished it and everything. Because I had scratched it just getting this off and on, and I really muffed it up. But now you look at it, it looks brand new again. So he just took it completely apart, dipped all the parts like you're supposed to, chemically cleaned them or ultrasound cleaned them, and this thing is it's already moving. Yeah, this thing is like right on the money now. This has the 7750 movement, the same movement as this watch, and the same movement as the last one I showed you, which was this watch. They're the same movement. These watches have identical movements in them. Well, except for this has the added complication. This is a lot thicker than this one. I like the fact that it's a smaller watch, even though I have big wrists. It's got a recessed pusher there, and I think that's related to this. This watch, when it comes to dress watches or even a sports watch, I mean, this watch, the dial is just so beautiful. Man, it's a good watch. And you don't see as many of these as you do, the black one, the very common one. These are harder to come by. So I'm really happy to have it. I've got 2 left here, and we're at 54 minutes, but you won't know that because if you're watching this video, because I'm gonna cut out a lot of the fat out of this video. That this is Sitpia. Kipia? I don't know. It's Russian. I'm half Russian. You think I would know something about it, but I don't. This is Estrella. And this watch has a really cool history. So it's a Russian watch, and let me show it to you. The box is kind of cool. Let me show that to you. I like the box. And take a look at this dial. I gifted this to my son, so I'm just using it to do the video. So this watch is a manual wind watch. That's why it has the resistance. That's what it is. And there is no rotor. There's no rotor. So it's completely open back, and you can see it in detail with the blued screws. And interestingly enough, there's two different movements they put in these watches, and one is considered somewhat inferior and problematic, and the other one is considered far superior. And we have watch number 60 out of, I can't remember how much it was that were made. It was a few thousand watches or something, but I don't think the 60 is actually talking about what number it is in the line. I think that the number 60 just means it designates a certain model series. I think that's what we found out when we looked it up. And this one has if you look up the number 60, it tells you it has the good movement of the two, the better movement. And it might even say it here, the C3135. I think that's the number that's on that V-shaped piece of steel there that's holding down the gears, the shaft of the gears, where it says 25 joules. I think the number is C3153. I think 3133. I think that's the number. But at any rate, it was not too hard to identify it. There's a lot of information on the internet about this watch and these watches, made by a company called Pulo or P-Lo, something like that. Starts with a P. And then this is the Strela line. There was 2 or 3 different lines or something. And it says Russian mechanism on the bottom. Chronograph class 1. And I don't know if you can see how well you can see it. Blued seconds hand. There's a graph on the inside there of the telemeter. I think it's called telemeter. And I think that's done in blue. And then there's some red writing on the outside. Oh, and it's just, it's a fabulous looking watch. And hard to come by, especially in this shape. This is a watch that we'll never get rid of. We'll always have that watch. And then there's one final watch I'm going to show you. I have more, but I'm not, the video is just so long. This is a Jevril. It's called Jevril. And this is a huge watch. And the GV2, which there are a ton of them. It's a limited edition. This was 57 out of 500 were made of this one. I mean, there's so many different variations of these, but this particular one with this look is 500. This one could be polished again, but it's in great shape. Individually Swiss handcrafted. Let me give it a shake. It should take off, and it does. It's got a seconds hand with a red tip on it, arrow and tip. It's almost a greenish tint to the dial, with a sunburst or groove. It's like a sunburst or groove pattern on it. Automatico is written at the bottom. Swiss made. Qualita Suprema. Roman numerals. Rose gold. fairly thick, big watch. Uh, I think that's the original band on it. Opens up like that. It's a cool watch. Is it for everybody? No. You have to have a big wrist for a watch like this, which I do. So I can pull this off. It's kind of a cool crown, but you know, just something you don't see every day. At least over here, you know, you go to other parts of the world, these are much more common. At least from what I've seen in videos. And so that's it. So there you have the last one. And I'm going to clean everything up here, and I'm going to go ahead and end the video now. And thanks if you stayed this long and you watched to the end. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll be doing a lot more videos. I'm going to be doing some interesting stuff coming up. I'll probably do one more watch video, one or two, and that'll pretty much round out how many watches I own. I've already done one. This could be the second one, and if I do another long one, I could get most of my other watches in that are interesting, and you know, some other ones that aren't worth showing. It's just I won't do, and that'll be it. So yeah, again, thanks for tuning in, and I will catch you on the next one. Okay, bye.